Waiting for it to load.
Cool. Let's see if this gets started.
It's so early.
It is. This is different for us. Haven't done this kind of early stream in a while.
Yep. Is it loading for you?
Ooh, you know what? I think I still have my peaked out filter on. I'm going to make sure that's off. Okay. Hey, y'all. There's Riley. It appears to be working now, so you may start when ready.
Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Tailosive Talks, the podcast.
The podcast edition.
The podcast edition. I'm your host, Louise Erickson, and joining me today is my lovely husband, Andrew Erickson.
Hey, it's good to be here. It's been a while. I've loved being a guest on this show. It's always a pleasure.
Your own show, a guest on your own show.
But thank you for having me on and for inviting me.
Of course. How's your morning going?
It's been, brief. This is the start of it. We just got ready and headed over, but we've got stuff to do today. We got adult errands things going on, So that's why we got to get going. What do you got going?
I have a dentist appointment in about an hour, so this is going to be a short one today. But right. I wanted to get at least, the consistency going. We wanted to do this 3 times a week, and so far we've done it for
Good
the
job.
past 3 weeks.
Good job,
And
huh?
I didn't want to give up on that, so we got to
great.
do one today.
That's great. So what are they doing at the dentist today? Are they removing most of your teeth? Or?
Yeah. They're just going to pull out every single tooth.
Oof. That would hurt, but it would probably make brushing easier.
Yeah, I just brush my gums.
What if they had, the retainers you get after braces? Mm-hmm. They should make those, except they're just, the inside of them is covered with the little bristles that are in toothbrush.
Yeah.
And that way you can just put it in your mouth, swish it around a little bit, and then it brushes all your teeth simultaneously.
Wow. That's actually a really good idea.
I'm a genius.
You should patent that.
Are they removing your wisdom teeth?
Not today, but
okay.
I will need to get that done at some point this year, which I'm really scared for. I don't like being put under.
Scared? Don't
they have to put you under for that?
They can.
Did you stay awake?
No. You can decide to stay awake, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
I'd much rather just get knocked out. Some people are against the knocking out.
Is that sadistic or masochistic?
What?
It's like you enjoy pain.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know, but that's one of those. It's one of those.
Masochistic.
Probably one. Something
everyone's
like
asking what time it is, and right now it's 7:28 a.m.
for us
Pacific time.
So we're probably reaching a totally different demographic than usual.
Yes, because usually we do this in the afternoon or at night. So welcome all you new viewers.
Yes, which is totally different, but you got to keep your teeth clean.
Yes,
it's important.
Of course, got to floss.
Yep.
Not the Fortnite kind.
No, actual floss. It's actually the one part of your skeleton you can see. Did you know that?
I'm trying to think of another part of my skeleton I could see.
That's it. There's no other exposed bones in the human body.
What if I cut my elbow?
Really hard.
Really?
Yeah, there's a good amount of flesh there you'd have to scrape.
Your elbow is the skin is so thin there. I feel like you could. So you don't have to slice it that deep.
Pretty deep. I mean, enough to be very painful.
Well,
I've heard of that.
Obviously it's going to be painful.
There were people in my high school that got into ATV accidents and stuff, and you could see their bones after those kind of crashes.
Have you ever had an ATV crash or anything like that?
I have, actually. It was with me and Ross in the backyard at my house growing up. We drove the quad runner around like we were crazy. Mm-hmm. We would take it off jumps, and we would spend all day digging holes and making dirt and piling up the dirt so that we could take the quad runner on it and jump it. We really shouldn't have been doing that. Our parents were very okay with it.
Yeah. Well, they probably weren't paying super close attention to you guys while you were doing that.
Probably not. So at one point we were like, let's go faster. Let's go faster. Let's go faster. So we wanted to get enough air off this one jump that we had found in our backyard to the point that we revved up the quad. And I think it was just me, actually. He was going to do the other lap. I was the one on the ATV, and I throttled it as hard as I could, to see how much air we could really get.
Wow!
And it went up, but the weight wasn't distributed, I guess,
correctly,
evenly. So what ended up happening was it went too front heavy. It landed
Ooh.
on the two front wheels, and when it hit the ground, it made me thrown past the handlebars.
Wow. So
and
you
then
flipped over?
off the ATV. ATV was like up on its end like this when I hit the ground, and it kind of before it rolled over again, I was able to get out of the way because I was like, oh, and then I turned around and the big ATV's kind of leaning towards me, so I scrambled away from it, and then it hit the ground. Wow. And we thought, we were not worried about if I was okay. We were worried about Dad being angry that we crashed it and we broke part of it. Like,
is that the blue one that he had?
The white and blue one, yeah.
Sadly, it got stolen.
Yeah, that's too bad. But we damaged it quite a bit. Like the metal frame of it was all dented on the front because it landed on its front. So that part was all dented over, and the gas cap, I think, flew off, and we had to look for it. And we were just like, okay, let's not tell Dad we had an accident until we get everything back and working.
Right.
So me and Ross like took apart the broken parts of the ATV. We like stuck it between two rocks and bent it back into place and then bolted it back on.
That's pretty clever, though.
And yeah, I didn't suffer any major injuries from that, actually. So
other than the brain damage you have.
That's right? True. That's pretty bad. We notice that every day. Oh, man. But no, that was a crazy day. I'm just now remembering that.
Yeah, how old were you?
I'm trying to remember. I'm really
like,
bad
were
at
you
that
like
kind of
7 or like 14?
Probably closer to 14. It was definitely teenage years. They wouldn't let me they wouldn't let me run around on that thing as a 7-year-old. Maybe they would, I don't know.
You just had to be careful.
I was the third child, so they're kind of like, if he dies, he dies. You know,
we still have 2 others.
We've got 2 more after this.
True.
We can make another one. Looks just like him.
So, yesterday, we worked out together.
We did, yes.
Kind of.
I've been going to this thing with my dad, which he calls Dad's Gym for Muscles, which is a Office reference. It's not his idea, but there's a episode of The Office where Dwight has Dwight's Gym for Muscles. It's just redundant. It's funny. But
he
basically,
like beat cans.
Yeah, or like buckets of nails, and you like hit a tire with a hammer and stuff like that. And so my dad, we're not that weird, but we have what do they call those? Dumbbells? Weights that we lift, that we curl, and then we have a mat that we lay down in the garage so that we can do sit-ups and push-ups on, and jump rope, which is surprisingly straining if you do it for a long time.
Yeah.
And so
that's
we all
probably what killed me the most.
Really? Was the jump rope?
Yeah, because I was trying to do it really fast.
Yeah.
And it's not like jump rope as a kid when you're like skipping kind of. You're like doing it like I don't know, fast. Like how those boxer people train for not marathons, but boxing matches.
Yeah. No, jump rope when I was little was like a fun thing. I don't ever recall jump rope when I was little being an exercise. I just thought it was something like, it's a rope. You jump over it. You know, that's cool. And sometimes kids would get the extra long jump rope so that 2 kids could go in one, or 3 kids.
Yeah.
And
what is that called? Like double dutch, or
I forget what they call it, but something like that, where all the kids are jumping inside one rope. And we just did it for fun, and there were like whole events at my elementary school where it was all just dedicated to jump roping.
Wow.
And now I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that was just an excuse to get us all to exercise. I'm finally catching on. It's like they wanted us to like jump for life, or like, you know, jump rope all day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, we get to jump rope all day. And now I'm like, oh, that was them trying to get us to work out, and it worked.
That reminds me, we used to have like track meets at my elementary school when I was like in 5th grade, and we'd compete in different events like jump rope and like triple jump.
What's the triple jump?
So it's like, it's kind of hard to explain.
Okay.
In track, there's like a sand pit and then a runway, and then you do like 3 jumps. So it's like different than together.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I did that in high school too, but in 5th grade, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And you have all these kids competing, and also like running races, which I was horrible at. And they made us do push-ups.
I mean, when you're young, you love jumping.
Yeah.
When you're a little kid, jumping is the best thing in the world. It's like, I'm in space right now. See?
Especially a trampoline.
Oh, yeah.
I had a trampoline growing up. That was amazing.
I think the parents are like, anything that wears the kid out
is good.
So that they're tired. That's good.
Yeah, we need to take tips from this.
Yes, and we'll teach our kid to jump rope. But now doing a jump rope as a 21-year-old, it's like,
yeah, it's like I'm so out of shape. Like
it's so tiring.
That was really kind of discouraging for me because you guys
Really?
were like, doing the circuits and doing all the different things and like not stopping, and I had to rest every like
We do
30
like
seconds.
3 sets of everything is the goal. So like 3 sets of I don't know how long they last. Usually 5 minutes or a little bit more. Of like 5 minutes of just jump rope, 5 minutes of the stair going
The
up and
step
down on the
stool.
step, and then I try to do 25 sit-ups and 25 push-ups, and then stop, and then do another 5 minutes with the
dumbbells.
The
weights.
curling up. You go 1, 1, 2, 2, and then you do that 10 times until you're up to here, and then you go 1, 1, and these are 20 pounds, 2, 2, and then you keep doing that until you hit to 10, and then you do that lap. So by the end of it, you've done like 75 sit-ups, 75 push-ups, and
Not me. I don't think I did one push-up. I did
well, you
maybe
gotta, yeah, it's
I
all
did
about
20.
finding the limit.
Yeah. Well, my limit was 20 sit-ups, and then I was on Twitter for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what Dad always taught me, was like, you're not doing it right if you can talk or if you can socialize. Our goal is to like be pushing ourselves so hard that we can't even speak by the end of it. Then you're winded. But we got a super chat.
Yes. What did they say?
Alexander Garlock says, "How is the married life?" And I would answer, "It is amazing. It's been going good." And I hope you think the same.
Yes, I do. It's much better than, well, I shouldn't say it's much better than single life because maybe people enjoy being single, but I personally, I feel like a life is meant to be lived like with someone and to experience things together. It's like, I don't know, much better.
For us,
more
definitely.
Enhanced.
Yeah. For some people out there, it might be more comfortable alone, but at least in my mind, I like that I'm not alone, and I like that I have someone to come home to and be with. I appreciate that. So
me too.
It's going
I really
well.
enjoy being married, and especially being married to you. I think it would be
Thank you.
probably worse with anyone else.
Yeah, I agree. Same way. Your life would be worse without me. No, I'm kidding.
That's true. I agree.
My life would also be worse without you. So
thanks.
I'm very glad that we found each other and that we're enjoying the married life.
Yes.
And we get to work on stuff together like this, which is fun.
And people were asking, let's see, what you thought.
What did I thought?
What did you thought? Where is it? Oh,
What?
Someone asked, are you guys going to watch Captain Marvel on the
Oh,
8th?
I saw that. That's coming out. Well, I bet the Thursday night showing's tomorrow.
Okay.
Is today Wednesday?
No, today's Tuesday.
Oh, okay. So 2 days then? Okay. There's probably going to be some kind of Wednesday night preview or something where they let you watch it a day early. I'm thinking about it. I'm not particularly excited for it, but I know I definitely want to make a movie review on it. In fact, I kind of want to get a movie review done before that comes out about I wanted to talk about The Office and some other show ideas I had in my head. Just need the time. But Captain Marvel's definitely one of those movies I need to review pretty quick.
So is this a new superhero or what's going on?
Pretty new. Yeah. It's I think it's Marvel's first female lead
Wait, it's a
movie.
girl?
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's a girl?
Yeah. Brie Larson.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm worried about it. It doesn't look good to me. And I'm scared that it's going to turn Infinity War into more political stuff, and I don't want it to be that. But I've seen the trailers, and I've been disappointed by Marvel trailers in the past, and had the movie been actually really good. So hopefully I'm wrong, but it looks like too much of a, what do you call it, Mary Sue type situation where it's just like, oh, she's all powerful and she can do anything.
Was she ever in comic books, or is this like a brand new character they came up with?
Well, I'm probably the worst person to ask, and the chat might know more about this, but I could be thinking of someone else, but I believe Captain Marvel is from a comic book, but like
Is a guy?
it started in like 2011. So it's not like an old comic book. This is like a fairly new, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Like there's
I'll do some research on
the
the
chat
internet.
probably knows. I don't think it will be great. It's all about the last Avengers movie. I don't even know it's about that, but she was in the comics, but they're using a different approach for the movie. Okay, so Daniel Holloway's saying that it is a comic book character.
Okay,
but
it says Captain Marvel gets caught in the middle of a galactic war between two alien races. Is that true?
I mean, that's what the trailer looks like. But
okay,
thank you for the super chat.
Then.
Well, there's aliens in it, yes. Rockford Tech super chatted and said, "I'm so happy."
We're glad you're happy.
Glad you're happy.
Why are you happy?
Why are you happy?
Yeah, tell us.
But
give us the secret.
Why are you? What did it say about like origin or?
I just closed it out.
I could be. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. They'll answer us. I think maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but Captain Marvel might have been a character that was really, really old, like an old character, and then they're completely like revamping it. Okay, they're saying Captain Marvel's one of the first Marvel characters. Oh, that's why I'm confused. Stefan says there's two Captain Marvels. One is this one, and another one is more elastic, Mr. Fantastic hero, who was given permission.
Is that Carol Danvers?
I don't know.
It says it's a fictional superhero.
Probably, but it sounds like there are multiple versions of Captain Marvel, and they're picking one. But it's like, come on, you guys, your job is to make superhero movies and comic books, but you can't come up with a new name. You got to reuse old superhero names to make a new one. It's like, oh my God. But yeah, the trailer doesn't look interesting to me. It just looks like, ooh, she has photon blasters and she can shoot them at the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I don't really know much about superheroes or superhero comics.
Yeah.
I think that's more you.
I'm not really into the comic books. I've never read a comic book in my life. But
never. I used to read Archie's.
Oh, really?
Archie's and like Veronica. I don't know what those are called, but they used to be like in the checkout aisles in the supermarket, and I'd always be like, "Mom, can I get one?" And then,
I've never read those.
Really?
Yeah.
They're kind of cute.
I just follow the movies and stuff like that. I just follow the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I enjoy watching. But
do you prefer Marvel over DC?
It's it's a tough place because I think Marvel movies overall, on average, are better. But I think my favorite superhero movies are from DC, but there's not that many. Like I love the Dark Knight trilogy more than anything. Like I love that more than all of DC? Marvel. That's DC.
Okay.
But that's about it from DC. Like I love Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises with a passion. Those
what about Superman? Is that DC?
I liked Man of Steel until I saw where they went with it. Yeah, that's DC.
His name is Man of Steel? It's not Superman?
That's the Superman movie.
Okay.
The more recent Superman movie.
What about Wonder Woman? I remember you told me you enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was good. I don't think it was incredible. Like, it wasn't mind-blowing, but it was decent. It was. I enjoyed watching it, and I think in comparison to the previous DC films that came out, they were really it was really good because the last couple DC films were absolute trash.
Well, did you watch Aquaman?
No, but I heard lots of good things about it. But I watch a ton of movie reviewers on YouTube, and I watch their reviews of Aquaman. But once I heard it was like 2.5 hours, and I watched the trailers for it, and I was like, oh my God. I'm sure it's pretty good, but I don't know.
But you already know the story, so it's like, why sit through it?
And the universe is kind of like destroyed now.
Is it?
Yeah, because they introduced Aquaman in Dawn of Justice as a little cameo, and then he makes a full appearance in Justice League, and Justice League was pretty horrible. It was okay, but for the most part, it was bad.
Avengers version?
Yeah, it's their version of Avengers. But then after Justice League, Ben Affleck stepped down as Batman. So the main Batman character is not there anymore. They have to recast him. And then Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, also stepped out of the role.
Why?
Because he doesn't want to play Superman anymore because the movies were so trash. So now they made an Aquaman movie, and everyone liked it, and I think they've greenlit Green Lantern, no pun intended. They've greenlit an Aquaman sequel because Aquaman made a ton of money.
Yeah.
But Aquaman was in this universe with Batman and Superman, who are now not in the universe anymore. So
well, the the people who play them aren't in it, but they can recast, right?
Yeah. It's
Or
just,
do you mean they actually died in the universe?
no, the actors dropped out, which means they either have to recast them or write them off, which is going to be a big problem for me if for the rest of the DC universe they have to like ignore.
They should just start
Superman and
fresh
Batman.
and recast everyone.
Oh, they just did that though. That's the thing. They just they just started fresh, and then they ruined it, and then now they want to start over again. We're like, okay, who will play the next Batman? It's like Ben Affleck didn't even star in a Batman movie.
He didn't?
He starred as Batman in films that Batman was in, but none of them were an actual Batman film. It was just not all of them were like Dawn of Justice, where it's about Superman fighting Batman, not just about Batman. There's no origin story or there's no like day-to-day. And then there's Justice League, which is about a bunch of characters in which Batman is one of them. And then he makes a brief appearance in Suicide Squad. And then other than that, there's no... there was never a Batman movie, and he played Batman for 3 movies.
Yeah, Daniel says you must watch Aquaman
Yeah.
because it was insane.
It's not the kind of movie I would pay money to watch. I'll wait till it's on some streaming service. If it's on Netflix, I'll probably give it a watch. But, I think Snyder is Zack Snyder is a good cinematographer, but getting him out of there was, I think, pretty key to the movie's success. And I understand Aquaman's more of a standalone movie. So is Wonder Woman, which are the good DC movies. It's like,
Yeah, I enjoyed Wonder Woman.
oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
I thought it was fun too.
I'm not super into hero stuff.
No.
Just because it's not realistic to me, but
No.
that's why people like it, because
That's why I
something
like
different. Like I like
It's
stuff like
refreshing.
The Incredibles. I like that kind of superhero
it. Oh yeah,
movie.
we just watched that. What did you think
Yeah.
of that? Did you like it?
The Incredibles 2 was actually a really good sequel. Like usually the sequels aren't as good as the original, but I thought that one was pretty close.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Incredibles 2 was fairly on par.
Yeah. Also, the voice actors they recasted for like Violet and Dash.
Oh,
were
yeah.
really similar. Like I couldn't
I
tell
don't
they were
think they're
different.
the same actors, but they're really close.
Yeah,
It's
they did a
amazing.
good job at casting them, and I like the plot of it.
Yeah, I thought they took it in an interesting direction because
More
they
of
had,
like Black Mirror type
Yeah.
scenario.
it's not like a cliche just superhero movie where there's a bad guy and they got to stop the bad guy, because they were trying to address like the ultimate flaw with the end of the last movie, which is that like, okay, superheroes save the day, but they're still illegal, and the government has still chosen to shut them out. So how do they address that now moving forward? What happens when Violet and Dash grow up? Like, can they not be superheroes anymore? And how does that work? So
Are you saying at the end of the movie? I thought they were legal by the end of it, weren't they?
yeah, well, that's the plot. That's what they're working.
Something I
towards.
didn't understand though is like, well, should I ruin it for the people who haven't watched it?
What's that?
Should
No,
I-
it's been out for a while.
Okay.
They can't
Well,
claim spoiler alert at this
the
point.
woman, I don't remember her name, but the one who like hated superheroes because her.
Screenslaver,
Oh yeah, I guess, but like that's not what she was called.
Yeah.
At that point,
something else.
I didn't understand her logic of like, I'm gonna make superheroes look really good so that I can have one scenario where they ruin everything and then they'll become illegal. It's like, why go to the length of making them legal just to make them illegal again?
It's like, why not just kill them?
Yeah. It's like you have the power to control everyone via
That's true.
screen.
Was kind of a murky plan.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, get
But
them all
it's
in
a
the
kid's movie, so I'm not going to
sunlight.
think too deeply about it.
It's like ever since there was a time, I think it was after the Sixth Sense came out.
The sixth.
It's a tongue twister. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I think movies, particularly kid movies, have always tried more recently to have a twist villain. I've noticed, like in the older days of animation.
Oh, like Toy Story 3.
Yeah,
Like
that's a classic example.
The bear.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Lotso.
Mr. Sunshine? Oh.
Lotso Huggin' Bear.
Lotso Huggin' Bear?
Yeah, that's
such
his
a
name.
funny name.
Well, all these animated movies are trying to get you to like and relate to one character and then
Yeah.
have them turn around and be the bad guy. Like
So this
Frozen
is
was a
like-
good example.
Frozen? Oh.
With
yeah,
Hans?
that's true. Oh, yeah, I liked Hans.
He was like likable, and I thought the movie kind of cheated a little bit because even when he was by himself, he was like all nice and friendly.
Right.
And it was like, okay, well, would he be that
So
way if he was
why
a
do
jerk?
you think they're doing this? Is it so that children have a hard time trusting anyone. Like, you're nice, but you might actually be a villain.
I'm not sure if they're trying to teach something out of it. Maybe they're trying to make it be like, people aren't always what they seem, kids. You know, like,
don't trust anyone.
Be skeptical. I don't know. Right. Maybe that's what they're doing.
We had a super chat a bit ago.
Oh, Rockford.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
He said, well, I don't have to do something and there's a solution Drew knows.
I know.
Why is he speaking so cryptically? Like, just say what you mean.
Maybe it's something personal, but
okay.
We'll leave it to him, I guess.
Sure.
But I'm glad you're happy. That's the important thing.
Okay. Someone keeps talking about Mardi Gras.
I don't know who that is. Do you know?
Who Mardi Gras is?
Yeah.
That's not their name. Mardi Gras is like a celebration they do in France, I think.
Oh,
it means
you know what that is. Okay.
Fat Tuesday. That's what it translates to.
Fat Tuesday?
Yeah.
More like fat every day of the week. That's what we have in America.
Mardi Week.
Mardi Week. That's every day.
But I know this is really popular in like New Orleans, and like they have parades and festivals, and they like throw beads at each other. Yeah, today's Tuesday,
okay.
Fat Tuesday.
Oh, sweet.
I guess.
Well, cool.
He keeps saying that.
I didn't know that at all. Now we know.
Well, speaking about Toy Story, how do you feel about Toy Story 4?
Oh, it's such a bad idea. Such a terrible idea. I'm so against that. And I bet most people are. I bet if they would have polled, hey guys, do you think Pixar should make a fourth Toy Story movie? I bet like 95% would have said no.
Yeah.
They all would have been like, make something else.
A money grab at this point because there's such a succinct ending at 3. Mm-hmm. Like, it was... Trilogies are much better than just keeping going forever.
It is, and even if it's good, like I know Pixar can make good stuff, and I enjoy a lot of Pixar content. Even more recently, I've enjoyed some of their content. But
what do you mean?
Making a fourth film is chancing that you're going to taint this. It's chancing the idea that, okay, you had a perfect trilogy, now you're going to make the dud. Now you're going to make the crappy one. Now you're going to make the one people want to ignore. Mm-hmm. Like... Every time you make another movie, you take that chance.
Okay, well, let's not forget about like Cars 3, Cars 2.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I never even watched those, but just like from what other people said about it.
3 was not as bad as 2, but I still don't think it needed to exist. It was unnecessary. Like,
were there babies? Like car babies?
I don't remember that. No, okay. I don't think so. They don't get much into that.
How are cars created in this universe? Do they...
Yeah, they really make you ignore a lot of logic.
Are there humans in this universe that build these cars?
Well, what confused me is that there's a World War II car.
What?
There's like a sergeant car who's like into military stuff.
Weird.
And I'm like, does that mean there's war?
So they fight each other?
So there's cars that go to war, and like if he's from World War II, was there a Hitler car?
Oh my gosh.
What if you start messing with the lore of cars, it gets really weird. Like, why do they have door handles?
So maybe there are humans inside, right?
There's some weird theories about it, but yeah, I don't know. I just Cars 1, I really wasn't even that big a fan of, honestly. Like I growing up, I watched all the Pixar movies I could, and Cars 1 wasn't bad. It just wasn't a high note for me. I was like, this is kind of, what's the message?
Right.
Don't be famous. Just take a drive.
Like, don't forget who you are and where you come from. I mean, not that he came from that small town.
We don't know where he came from. Car factories.
Maybe from Japan.
It was funny. I enjoyed it. Like, it was a decent movie. It was just not like, out of all my favorite Pixar movies, it was by far not up there.
So what is your favorite Pixar movie?
It's got to be... There's a big tie between a bunch of movies.
Is Up Pixar?
Yeah.
I really like it.
I loved Up. That's one of my favorites. One of my favorites, definitely because of how dark it gets. It's insanely dark.
Yeah. Also, like WALL-E, that was really dark too.
Which one? Why was WALL-E dark?
Our future is us like ruining Earth and.
Oh.
What?
Being like a post-apocalyptic movie. Yeah, that's true.
And also like our future is just sitting in a chair and like having a screen in front of us.
What are you all doing right now? No, I didn't.
What are we
I didn't
doing?
find WALL-E as dark as Up, but
Well, what about Up was so dark? Just that she died?
No, the ending of the movie.
I don't remember what happens in that.
Where I forget the aviator name. What's his name? Charles Muntz. Charles Muntz. That's who it was. Who flew to Paradise Falls to hunt the bird.
Okay.
By the end of the movie, they're trying to save the bird, and they're in the house on top of a Zeppelin trying to get away from him, and he has a shotgun and he's shooting at the kid and the bird, saying, "Get away from my bird!" And he's like legit with a shotgun shooting the door down, like kicking the door down with the gun, like. And there's a kid in there, like in peril, and so they stop him by, I think he falls to his death off the Zeppelin. And
the bad guy?
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
And he dies. Like I'm just saying, it's a dark movie. Really
Incredibles, even in the Incredibles, the original one, there's a bunch of superheroes that like died. Oh yeah. Right?
Incredibles is another
cave with like the
really
skeleton. That's kind of creepy. This guy just like rotted there.
Yeah, he rotted to death, and there was more. Like Mr. Incredible legit kills people, which I thought was interesting.
That's part of being a superhero. You got to kill the bad guys.
Mm-hmm. Right. They weren't very graphic about it, but like when there's all these bad guys at the research facility, he's like throwing giant
the balls
cars on them, and it kills them. I mean it. They're like, oh, so they're knocked out, but still, like he has to throw a rock at them and they fall off the building. They're knocked out by a
car, not killed.
Yeah, it would legit kill them, but still, it's a violent movie for a kids movie. And there's an entire scene in the first Incredibles where the bad guys are legit hunting down children and shooting their like Tommy guns at them.
Wait,
in the jungle. When Dash and Violet are running through the jungle all by themselves, there's those guys with the visors that have Tommy guns.
What's a Tommy gun?
It's like a drum mag, like a mobster, like
okay,
like machine guns, and they've got choppers that they're flying after the kids in, and they're legit like they're firing guns at like 8-year-olds. And that's the movie.
She's 13, okay.
Well, Dash is 8.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how old Violet is supposed to be.
It's just creepy when you think about it. It's a family movie.
But they are supers, so they're not like regular kids who are helpless. Because, they've got things to protect themselves, whether it's the force field or just running really fast.
There's also a scene that I really thought was dark in the first Incredibles where he's bounded by the electricity shield that Syndrome puts him in. Mm-hmm. He's all hung up.
Well, at one point, wasn't all the family?
Yeah, but before that.
Okay.
He wants to get out to save his family because Syndrome's going to bomb him with missiles. He's going to kill his family on the plane. And so in order to get what he wants, he takes Syndrome's female assistant, who's kind of neutral in the situation. She doesn't love
She's not neutral. She works for him.
Yeah, but she feels bad for him. Like she's against him, and they find that out. They help. She helps Mr. Incredible later in the movie. Mm-hmm. Is what I'm saying. Okay. He picks her up.
I'll forgive her.
He holds her.
I'll crush her
close
like
and
she's
says,
a twig.
Right. He's like, I'm gonna kill her unless you let me go.
But Syndrome clearly doesn't care. He's like, okay, do what you want.
Well, he called her bluff, as he said later. Yeah. He's like, I
he
called
knows
his bluff. Sweetheart.
He's inherently good. I think, right? Mr. Incredibles.
He said, oh, that's a little dark for you. Which I agree. It's a very dark moment for the character. Like this kid's movie, he's like, okay, so then Mr. Incredible picks up this frail assistant and says, I'm going to crush her, and unless you let me out, she'll break easily like a toothpick. Mm-hmm. Like that's our main character we're talking about. Isn't that disturbing?
But his family was being threatened, so... I mean, would you... Okay,
yes, this is animated.
Yeah.
Would you kill someone to save your family?
I don't know. Depends who, I guess.
If you were in that situation? Like, that's a super dark message to be talking about.
Syndrome in The Incredibles. Spin-off solo movie. Well, he died at the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
What if...
They threw a car at him and he flew into a jet. Okay, I think we're back. Internet's still freaking out. I hate this. Okay, I think we're back online.
Are we back?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi keeps
Sorry about that,
wigging
people.
Out. I apologize.
Dropped frames. We're still at 6%.
No, it's the connection's back now. We're back.
Okay. Anyways, back to our riveting discussion on animated movies.
I like it when they get dark. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
What
my
about
point.
it? Just that it's like more real.
I think there's the illusion that if it's animated, it has to be like kid friendly and it doesn't have to be very deep. Where I think that you can make a film that's animated and relates to children and still be really dark and really in battle with difficult morals and messages. I think that's interesting. I enjoy that.
That's true. What other movies are kind of dark and have a
Toy
theme?
Story 3.
Definitely.
That has like...
Well, it's more like toys against each other, though. Oh, well, I guess like how he was loved at some point and then thrown away and forgotten.
Super dark.
And he like was seeking revenge because of his past.
Mm-hmm. And all the toys are thrown into the into the dump, and they're being lowered into a fiery pit that's going to melt them. And that's not the dark part. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's dark enough as it is. The toys are being thrown into a fiery pit and they're going to die and melt.
Right.
But the dark part is how they responded to it, which still gives me chills to this day.
They tore him apart, right?
No. All the toys from the previous movies are all going into the fiery pit.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they did?
The claw? Was there a claw that saved
Well,
them?
that's how they saved them, but before the claw. Do you remember what happens?
I don't remember.
They accept it.
They were like, just let us die.
That's what they did, and that's what made everyone cry.
Really?
Is they're looking at the fire and they're backing up, and Jesse's like, Buzz, what do we do? And he just goes, and he's like, hold my hand. We're going to die now. And I'm like, what? They're like accepting death together?
Kind of has like Holocaust vibes.
I know. It's so trippy. And I'm still like thinking back at that
Okay, don't
time
cry,
I saw
honey.
it.
It's just a movie.
I'm just saying, like, by far one of the darkest scenes in Pixar history is like everyone's being thrown into a pit and then they like accept death.
Well, you just have to remind yourself they're toys. So it's not like the Incredibles are going into the fire and accepting it.
No.
Toys can commit suicide.
But they're personified. You know, they're human like. They're characters we know.
Right.
And to see those kids in the movie just be I mean, not the kids, but the toys and the characters we know very well just be like, this is it, we're done, we're gonna die now, it's been fun.
Yeah. That is pretty dark.
Oh, so gruesome.
In other new movies that are coming out,
Yeah,
what do you think of Aladdin, the new Aladdin trailer? Did we talk about this already?
a little bit, a long time ago. What do you think?
It was really
of it?
bad, right?
I thought it looked horrible. Some people say the animation doesn't look that bad.
I feel like it would have been better
atrocious.
if it was actually Will Smith and his body instead of like some buff dude
I
with
agree.
Will Smith's face.
Like, if
on
you're
it.
gonna do a live action Aladdin, then do a live action Aladdin. You know, like if the goal is to take an animated movie, don't replace it with another animated character.
Right.
You know, like I get that the genie does
He's transforming.
transforming a lot, which is why maybe you shouldn't make an Aladdin live action movie. But ultimately, I think it would have been fine if you just did a little animation when Genie needs to like make something happen.
Yeah.
You know, like he points at something, sparks come out, or he wants to make a car, so you can animate a car in. But for just Genie walking around and talking, he can be just a guy. You know, he doesn't
Right.
have to be this big blue animated.
So can he transform into a human?
Yeah.
And like a human
think
color?
that's
Not blue?
Yeah, I think they've had pictures of the movie that have been released that show him like disguised as a human, and it's just Will Smith in a
Okay, and
costume.
his actual body? Or
Yeah.
is he still buff?
No, he's not buff. He just looks like Will Smith.
Okay, well, cool.
Yeah, so I hope that's most of the movie. But ultimately, the animated version of him looks terrible, and I hope they hear that from the trailer and go, okay, we need to get rid of all that in the movie. Disney's one to usually respond about that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's
You think
hope.
you're going to watch it in theaters when it comes out? Just so you can make fun of it?
So I can, just for the memes at least. Will Smith is a meme now. It's hilarious, and the music I'm actually very excited for.
Yeah?
Because I love the Aladdin soundtrack.
And are they
amazing.
just refreshing it? Or like,
Sounds like it.
is it all new music?
No, I
Or
think it's
similar
all
to
music.
the original?
Well, it's the same music as before. They're just revamping it into more modern Disney soundtrack, which sounds cool. But I like the music they've played in the trailer sounds awesome, and I'm the Aladdin soundtrack, like they removed certain songs from Apple Music because I think Disney can't release certain content with Robin Williams' voice in it or something. So
Really?
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. There's some kind of weird contract, but like A Friend Like Me, that's not on Apple Music.
That's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
Remix, at least, that we listen to.
But like I have the Aladdin soundtrack on here, and they've grayed out Prince Ali, and they've grayed out.
Yeah, that's William.
Yeah, it's Robin Williams. And Friend Like Me, which is like the two favorite songs I have.
Right.
And they don't let you, it says item not available.
Well, do you think they might add that to the movie?
Oh, yeah. Like Will Smith will do a rap version.
No.
Yeah! Rewind time.
Yikes.
Yeah. I don't know. Were you into Aladdin ever?
I don't remember. I didn't really watch many Disney movies growing up.
What did you watch growing up?
Trying to think. Tom and Jerry. In the Philippines, there are a lot of pirated copies of Tom and Jerry.
On what? Tape?
Yeah, like a CD.
Oh, a DVD. Okay.
Yeah, DVD.
Gotcha.
They'd be like 50 pesos.
Oh,
and
really?
we'd go home and watch them, and we'd have to rewatch the same ones over and over. But it's like one of the only cartoons we had.
Was that it? Was there other things you'd watch?
I think I watched Dora because we had like 5 channels on our TV.
Yeah, I watched Dora when I went to my grandma's house because we didn't have TV at our house.
And other than that, I think that was it.
Wow.
Until I moved to America, and I think I remember watching. It was it The Little Mermaid? It was a princess movie, but I can't remember the plot. It's too long ago.
Little Mermaid's one of them. One of those princess movies. I'm sure they're going to remake that pretty quick. Just think of the song from The Little Mermaid and then slow it down and add a bunch of drums, and that's going to be the trailer music for the live action version. It's
Really?
so predictable
Is that-
now. Every
the
single
format?
movie. Yeah, like Dumbo did it, Aladdin did it, Jungle Book did it, Beauty and the Beast did it. All these Disney live action, like they just slow down the music and then add a bunch of drums, and that's the live action.
To make it dramatic.
So what's
Dramatic.
the song? Yeah, dramatic. Think of a song from Little Mermaid, like hum one.
I don't remember. Was there a song that's like, I have legs?
I think PewDiePie sang that one.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, Under the Sea. That's one.
Oh yeah, Under the Sea. Perfect.
Under the Sea.
Kiss the girl. So okay, what's the Under the Sea? Ding, 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 ding. So the trailer, I'm calling it now. But this gonna look so much like Aquaman.
Is it?
Yeah.
Except with the female protagonist?
Like CG wise, it'll be very similar.
Wait, they're doing a live action version? Are you sure?
I don't know, but
Or
I'm
if
saying
they
they
ever
will.
did.
I think right now they're just looking at the list of animated movies and they're like, let's make that, let's make that, let's make that. So Little Mermaid's, I'm sure, on the list at some point. No, it'll happen.
Sure.
I have legs. New Erickson single. Yes, exactly.
Drop it soon.
Oh man, no, I don't. I wish Disney and Pixar could just understand, like, you know, the reason we like them is because they made interesting films. They weren't necessarily
That's not
original.
true, though.
What? What do you
When
mean?
we're kids, our standards for movies are so low.
Yeah, but
And
they're
so
not.
we enjoy them just for, you know, the colors and the sounds. And then as we get older, when they make live action versions or remakes, we watch it because of the nostalgia we feel of our childhood. It's not necessarily because it's a good storyline or whatever. Some of them are, but they're all...
But the animated ones we're all thinking of were somewhat original.
No, I'm pretty sure...
They weren't remakes, though.
Yeah, they weren't remakes, but they weren't original stories. Like, those stories are like...
What was Toy Story based off?
World War II.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Okay, maybe not that one specifically, but I mean, like, some of the other ones, they were like old folk. What?
It's just like that you said Toy Stories. That should be the title of the podcast.
No. How about The Lion King? Is there going to be a live action for that?
Yeah, you haven't seen the trailer?
Wait, it's actually coming out?
Yeah. They got James. They got James Earl Jones back.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy who voiced Mufasa, who's now voicing Mufasa.
Mufasa.
And they got Seth Rogen to play Pumbaa.
Is that the
Donald
meerkat?
Glover's in it. No, Pumbaa's the warthog.
Okay.
They got Beyonce.
Donald Glover?
Childish Gambino to play.
Beyonce, Childish Gambino is all one person.
They got a bunch of popular people to play
Okay.
Lion King characters, which I think it's stupid to call live action because
is it like
it's all animated. So
it is?
Well, it's like they shot it in Africa, but they're animating the lions and the zebras.
Oh, they're not going to be played by humans.
Well, they're probably doing mocap or performance capture, I should say, like they did with Jungle Book. It's like
There's
that.
no humans in the story, right? It's all lions.
Not in the original, no. They were never humans, but maybe they'll do something different with
Hunters or something.
Poachers are the threat. I don't know.
Yes.
Sounds like something
Let's
they
think
would do.
about the environment for a second.
Seth Rogen won't need much makeup.
Wow.
Hakuna Matata, Simba.
Seth Rogen. He's in a lot of
He's in a lot of
movies.
stuff. He was just in that movie we watched, with Steve Carell.
Oh, the 40-year-old virgin.
Oh yeah, he was in.
Did we ever finish that?
Yeah, we did. Remember
Did he
they
fall in
end with a big singing.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "How was that?" And he's
A
like,
musical scene.
"Hi." Yeah. He just goes into singing musical.
Yeah. Do you
Oh
think
my god.
Steve Carell's character, his character is a Mary Sue, or Mary Kate, or whatever the.
I mean,
is?
no. I mean, is it the whole flaw of the movie that
How
he's?
is being a virgin a flaw though?
Well, he's not. It's not just that he's a virgin. He's like
What is it?
He acts like a kid, and he's 40, and he's not got his
How
life
does he
together.
act like a kid? Okay,
He has a
all
bunch
his
of toys,
He enjoys
action
them.
figures. He rides a bike. and
he
he's
loves
40
his
years
life.
Old. He doesn't drive a car. He works at a Best Buy.
How is working at a Best Buy a kid?
I mean, at 40. Didn't he say he worked there for like 25 years or
But
something?
he got bumped up to manager or assistant manager, assistant to the regional manager. But no, he's not a kid.
I'm just saying he didn't have.
He doesn't have any major flaws.
He didn't have his life together. Is all.
How?
He was afraid.
He lived in okay.
Remember, he rejected her whenever she tried to get intimate with him.
But he lived by himself. He was independent. He had his own bike.
Well, movies don't have to. What would you say would make him not a Gary Sue?
A Gary Sue?
Yeah, because
There's
he's a guy.
version.
He's not a Mary Sue.
I
Mary's
don't know that.
Mary's a woman's name. That's the
Maybe if he like abused animals or something.
Why would he use animals?
He has a cat that he hates.
I think you can have a plot to a film with like. I mean, I don't see him as a Gary Sue. That would be like the character's unstoppable. Like they can do whatever they want and they always succeed.
But I feel like things worked out for him, like always. Didn't they?
How so? Didn't
He
like,
ended up with a
break up?
girl.
Didn't she like leave him because she thought he was a pervert and then?
Yeah. But that wasn't a flaw on his part. That was his friend saying, like, take all this stuff.
Well, his flaw was that he didn't.
He was a pushover?
Yeah, he didn't know any of this stuff.
So his flaw is being innocent, basically.
I thought that was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I liked the way they did.
Wasn't
his
that one of
character.
the first movies he ever did?
I don't think it was the first, but it was definitely one of the biggest. Like, it was probably his big break. Like, that was the movie that put him on the map.
Which is crazy because, like, he was already kind of old at that point.
Yeah.
And, like, to get your break later in your life.
Oh yeah.
And
No.
now, like,
Steve
from
Carell
there,
didn't
his
get
career
big
really
till he
took
was
off.
like 45, and then he became like a well-known
Yeah,
actor.
and he was in, was it Evan Almighty? Or Bruce Almighty?
He was in both.
But which one did he play, Bruce or Evan?
He played Evan Almighty in both. Yeah. And then The Office obviously skyrocketed
Yes.
his career. He did a lot of commercials before I think the 40-year-old version. 20 plus years, never got manager.
He did get manager at the end. Do you
Well, he
remember
eventually got it, but
his boss was like hitting on him. It's like, I'm going to promote you to the floor and then I'm going to promote you to assistant manager or whatever.
his life sucked. He had a terrible life.
But he was happy.
He wasn't that happy.
He was pretty happy.
Well, his friends made him feel bad.
Okay, well then get new friends. You guys should never let other people dictate how you live your life. Because he was happy, in my opinion.
It's true.
He had his action figures. He would paint them. He was content with that.
I know people
Mary
who
Sue.
do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, I'm not gonna put him out.
Okay, let's talk about one more live action and then let's move on to a new topic.
Okay.
Someone asked what you thought about the live action Kim Possible movie.
Oh, it looks stupid.
Did it come out already?
Yeah.
Was it in theaters or was this like a Disney Channel special?
I think it was a Disney Channel special.
Okay.
It looks really crappy.
Good thing we don't have Disney Channel.
I watched Kim Possible growing up, but I wasn't like a huge fan.
You could be the Ron Stoppable. her sidekick friend who's like in the friend zone.
He's like the ginger.
Weasel. No, he's a mole rat.
He sounded like that.
I don't remember what he sounded like.
No, he had the big teeth. And he would karate fight too. Didn't Kim always fight this green girl? What was her name?
Yeah. I don't remember. She had a green like bodysuit and like black hair.
Yeah, she was like the arch nemesis.
But
yeah,
they
I don't know.
literally had like
I
they
watched
looked like
it
they could be
sometime.
twins, just different colors, different hair
Right.
color.
I was somewhat aware of Kim Possible, but I wasn't a huge fan. So I when I saw the live action thing, I was like, oh God, that looks embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's like that looks so bad, and I'll probably never watch it unless I'm looking for something to make fun of. Oh my God, people. If you want to know more about the app, you follow @Tailosive Dev on Twitter, as we've mentioned before. And as I've mentioned previously, I'm the worst person to ask about how the app's doing because I'm not the one making it. So if you have questions about the app, there's like at least 5 to 6 updates a day on Twitter saying @Tailosive Dev, just follow that. And he live streams making it on Twitch @Tailosive Dev. So go check it out there. Anyways.
Yes.
What should we wrap up on, hon? What's our
We
last
still got
topic?
8 minutes.
Yeah.
What can we talk about for 8 minutes?
What topic? The app is still being made.
Is there any new updates on the app?
There's kind of just a big community argument about what design layout to go with, which I'm kind of just for whatever the audience wants because, they're the ones who are going to be using it the most.
Right.
So it's like our developer was worried that the app would look too much like the App Store app and that Apple wouldn't verify it or put it on the App Store because it looks too similar to the app, because it looks too similar to other apps that Apple's made. So our developer Ethan wanted to make a different design layout so that it didn't look like
unique.
a clone. Yeah.
Well, what app is it similar to?
The App Store.
The actual App Store.
Yeah,
That's what
it looks very similar to the
What,
App
is
Store,
that
but I don't
patented?
think he claims that Apple would reject it because it looks too much like the App Store. I don't think they would because it's not trying to imitate it, which is I think what that rule is about.
Has he ever made an app before? That's actually been like published, used by people?
I don't think
just
he's
for
ever
fun?
published, but he's made apps for himself. I mean, he knows the coding languages very well. But I think what he was worried about was a line of the terms and conditions that says, like, if your app looks too similar to someone else's app, we won't confirm it. We won't put it on the App Store. But our app is for viewing YouTube and Twitch. It's not for downloading apps or anything. You can't do that.
It's more for redirecting you
Yeah. I
to
think
different sites.
I think they put that in the terms and conditions to say, like, don't imitate an app that already exists. Don't make a duplicate Facebook. Don't make a Apple Music app that looks like Apple Music, but it isn't. I think that's what that rule's for. I don't think they would care if it was like, oh, this app is for viewing a YouTuber's content with, integration with Twitch and YouTube. That's what it's for.
Right.
I don't think they would care. They would be like, oh, well, he's not trying to imitate the App Store. So, yeah. So that's all that is going on right now. It's just lots of...
Do you have any idea when the beta version will come out?
Not soon.
Still?
Not soon. And
Are we aiming for 2020?
Yeah, probably if this does work out, hopefully, if that like, there's still a possibility that it won't happen at all. So keep that in mind, people. But if one day it doesn't, if one day it is ready, it'll probably be next year. So don't anticipate it anytime soon.
Well,
But
it's certainly exciting once
yeah,
it's up and running.
right. There's just a
I'm
lot
hoping there'll be
of hurdles to hop over. So
right.
there's a lot to get done. So it's I can tell the audience is very interested. People always express how interested they are, but
Luckily, you're the one who just gets to think of the ideas.
yeah, I'm not the designer. I just say what it should do, and most of my job at Tailosive is just making all the stuff. So my job isn't designing the app. It's just I got to make this video, do this stream, and,
Right.
and Ethan handles the rest. So yeah, but that's the situation on it now. No, it won't work on the Pixel. We'll make sure it doesn't.
Really?
I don't know. It won't be on the Play Store at first. I know that. But if all went well, it would eventually be on the Play Store. But we're not there yet.
It's not contradictory that you're like this Apple sheep, but your app's on multiple platforms.
No, we're definitely
Android.
prepping for a iOS first
Launch. Yeah.
because we got to make the app, and then if down the road we want to cross-platform it to other apps, then yeah, Play Store eventually. But
Dr. Marvel's in the chat. Is that Captain Marvel's doctor?
yeah, of course. No, he does.
When she has a tummy ache, she goes to Dr. Marvel.
Yeah, Dr. Marvel's one of our mods in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
He makes
Welcome
really good
to the stream.
emojis. He makes emojis of me doing different things like.
What are those called? Emotes, or is that different?
They call them emotes, so people
Cool.
can react to things. There's one of me laughing, and there's one of me going like this, and there's one of me like, oh really?
Yeah.
There's one of me.
You have lots of good faces.
Yeah, all the Tailosive emotes, but they're fun.
Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Your dentist appointment. I hope that goes
It's always
well.
so much fun to go to the dentist.
We never said exactly what they're doing.
They're doing it's called the deep cleaning, and they had to make my mouth numb for it
Ooh,
because they're
we
going to
should
be
have done the
scraping
podcast after that.
under my gums.
Ooh, under your gums?
Yeah. So I don't know how that's
Okay.
going to work, but
Hopefully it
yeah,
doesn't
my
hurt.
mouth's going to be numb. So this is why we are doing the stream so early, because later on I won't be able to talk very well.
It would be kind of funny though.
Is that really how you want people to see me?
No, it's not, but like temporarily it would be funny. Just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Same with
The thing is, like, if I talk too much, like sometimes I'll bite my tongue because like I don't feel
yeah,
it.
don't do that. Ouch.
Yeah, I've been going to the dentist so much, and it's costing us a pretty penny. I apologize that my teeth are all messed up.
So no, your teeth aren't messed up. I gotta schedule a time for me to go to the dentist. We gotta
for
find
sure.
some time for that
Yeah,
eventually.
we'll do that soon.
We gotta get your wisdom teeth out.
I know.
I want to see you when you're silly.
Really,
Yeah,
that'll be a good vlog. You should put me in weird situations.
I'll film it and then I'll ask you when you're feeling better
Let's
what you're
react
comfortable
to
with.
like different videos while I'm. Are you like high when you do it, or?
In a way, kind of. You're kind of silly.
Well, this will be the first time then.
I definitely was. I was saying weird stuff and
Did they record it?
no,
That would
but
have been gold.
I remember it.
Really?
Yeah, it
What did
wasn't
you
like
talk about?
I couldn't remember what I said, but I remember saying things and thinking back on them and being like, that was weird. Why did I say that? I remember thinking, I can't focus on cars on the road, but I can focus on my hand. So then I just stared at my hand for a long time.
You're like cross-eyed.
And then my dad was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I feel great. And then I threw up
Ew.
like blood.
What? You did not.
I did. All over the stairs.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Why blood?
That's just what I felt like doing that day. You say it like I chose blood.
But I'm saying, like from the pockets or whatever?
Yeah,
the
you're
teeth?
bleeding a lot after your wisdom
Oh, that
teeth.
sounds awful.
You're taking out part of your skeleton is being removed.
Could I get one of my ribs removed so I'll be more flexible?
Well, I
I've
think
heard of
the
people
guys
doing
did that to make women.
To make women?
Yeah, Adam had his
Oh
rib
my
removed.
gosh.
That's an old Bible reference. Anywho,
Wait, is that true? Do guys have like one more rib than women?
when they have one less,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Probably not.
Wait, one more
I doubt it
question
works that
about
way.
the app. Someone was asking if it'll feature the Erickson's channel.
I think we said it can if you want it to, but it'll be off by default. So,
I think it
yes.
should be not an option.
You don't want it on the app at all.
Well, it's not part of Tailosive. When you keep it like a closed system, you don't want these other channels to get in, even though it's our channel.
Well, yeah, don't worry about that. We got plenty of time to wait for app development until that day comes. But anywho, we have to wrap up here and get going so you can go to the dentist.
This is the shortest one ever. But next one, we should do an extra long one, like 2 hours long.
Ooh, okay.
But we need to come up with more topics.
Big, long podcast. Oh, yeah, no problem.
But this was fun talking about animated movies and working out.
Absolutely. And thank you all for donating and for watching and being here.
And putting up with our missing pixels.
Sorry, the frames keep dropping. Missing pixels. That's what I need. More missing pixel phones. Oh, no. The Pixel 4 never came out. Oh, no. Anywho. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.